Welcome guys! Today we're embarking on a new journey of an altered sketchbook. I don't know if you've heard of them before, but I'm going to tell you all about them and you'll be like loving yourself sick, thinking, I'm going to go do one of them myself. I cannot remember the lady's name for the life of me. Started following this girl. She does altered sketchbooks, she does all sorts of sketchbooks, and she's amazing. She does really bright art. I love it. Anyway, I'll put her on the screen, probably here-ish. Anyway, so she does these things called altered sketchbooks. Now, I've known about these for ages, and I've attempted to do them before, but not really succeeded and kind of given up and ended up throwing them out or just whatever. So I'm here today. I thought, I'm going to do an altered sketchbook. So, basically, an altered sketchbook is one where you take any book you like. So you take a book and turn it into a sketchbook. Any book whatsoever. So I went op shopping. I thought, yeah, that's my cue to go to the op shops and buy some books. So, first of all, I'll tell you the things that I bought. So I got this book. This is by Scott Turow, called Reversible Errors. I actually thought this sounded like a really good book. So I thought, and one thing I was looking for is the feel of the pages. So I basically touched the pages and I'm like, that'll be good, that's not. So like shiny paper, nah, put that back, I don't want that. And so I bought this one. I think it was like $3 or something, a couple of bucks. I read it and then I've turned it into a altered sketchbook. And I'm going to show you, this is the one I'm going to show you that I've actually started. I got this one, I'm not sure about it. See, I love music paper, like sheet music. I think it's really cool. So I got this and it is spiral bound, but the cover's quite flimsy. So I don't know whether I need to maybe do something about that and try and maybe rebind it. I'm not sure, but I love it because you got sheet music, you got regular words and stuff like that in there too. Just a really cool book that I thought would be amazing as an altered sketchbook. And the paper, quite nice, quite nice. It's quite a smooth paper, but there's no gloss or shine to it. Bingo. So I got that one. Then I got another one which I think is inside. Forgot to bring it out. The other thing I want is hardcovers because I trash my sketchbooks really bad. I don't treat my sketchbooks amazingly. This one's about doctors. I have no interest in reading this one, unfortunately, but I liked the size because it's quite a big-ish novel. Like when you think a normal novel size, it's quite small, but this, I liked the size of this one. I don't like dust jackets, so they're gonna go. This one had a dust jacket and I got rid of it because they annoy the bejeebies out of me. So whether maybe I don't know, might do something with that, maybe. And I actually really like this color. It's a really nice like teal color. I thought it's really cool. So that's another one I got. Again, the paper's really nice. It's not real white in your face. It's like an off-white. Nice. So I got them ones from Vinnie's, and along with one more that I got inside because I want to start a altered sketchbook. So I bought a bajillion, as you do. And then I was sitting here thinking, I want to do a bigger one. I like big sketchbooks. I like A4-ish at least. So I thought, let's see what I've got. What have I got already? Because I've already got stacks of books. I love op shopping and I love finding really cool old books and stuff. And I found this book, the Australian fishing book. And I thought, yeah, perfect. So I started looking through. There's some glossy pages, but there's not a heap. Like it's like usually a cluster of them, and you have to remove some pages anyway when you do an altered sketchbook. So I thought, well, I'm just going to remove the glossy ones. But then I started flicking through and I'm like, oh, I actually really like some of these pictures. Like, I don't know if I want to turn this into an altered sketchbook, but I think it's really cool. Like, you know, I could use some of these as reference pictures. Like, look at that John Dory, that's really cool. So I'm like, I don't know. So I decided, went to Tamworth last weekend. It won't be last weekend by the time I get this out there, but they've got this brilliant, if you live in New South Wales, Australia, go to Tamworth, the Lions Club, and they have this bookshop that opens on a Saturday and a Wednesday every week. There, it's just a big shed with all these secondhand books, and I got a stack of books for $10. So I'll show you the ones I got, but I also got a heap of like little golden books because I don't know, I collect the Disney ones of them to possibly turn into sketchbooks eventually. Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, so I had this one already at home and I thought, let's just see. Now, I'd already driven 3 hours and I went there before I went to my mate's house and I thought I was busting. I was busting to wee. So I flew through there, grabbed a couple of golden books. There were heaps more golden books. I just didn't have a chance to go through them. And I went, all right, righto, go to the information section and get some books. I didn't realise until I got home that I found the exact same book. I'm going to turn one into an altered sketchbook and keep one for reference pictures. Bingo! But I was like there and I was like, oh, I wonder what other ones they've got. You know, and I'm dancing, need to go to the toilet really bad. And I found this one, Fishing Australia. It just had nice paper and I thought it's a bit thinner too. It's not quite as thick. I liked the cover. No dust jacket to annoy me. There's some coloured glossy again, but like I said, you have to rip some pages out anyway. So I thought that was a good one. But then I also found this there. This I'm not turning into an altered sketchbook. This is literally just for reference, to have a look at different pictures of fish, like, and it's literally the Australian Fisherman's Companion, so it's like all the fish you can find in Australia in colour. I'm like, that's brilliant. Like, it even has crabs and prawns because I want to draw more prawns, but finding prawn reference photos is really hard. Now, copyright tells me I can't copy these exactly, but with my art I change it and vary it so much that I don't think you will ever know exactly what picture I actually even drew from. So it's not as big as an issue. Oh, look at that, a leather jacket. I used to catch them fishing with my pop, a leather jacket. So I got those 3 books plus a stack of little golden books for like 10 bucks. I went, brilliant. So I'm gonna go back there again one day when I've weed and not busting for the toilet and have a little, really have a good look through. Not that I need any more, I have more than enough. I think altered sketchbooks kind of tie in really nicely to my ugly art movement because there's something so refreshing about turning something that potentially someone was going to throw out and donated. Not only have I supported a great charities in Australia, but I can give these books a fresh life and turning something that's not meant for art into art. Like, it just, I think it fits so well into my ugly art movement because it's challenging. It challenges the idea of what makes good art and the like. So this is the one I've really started with. I did start with the fishing one. We're gonna have a look at the fishing book today, but I have started a couple of pages. I haven't prepped this one very well, but I did just start by laying down. I had some my neon color 2s and I'm like, I'm just gonna put some color down and then activate it with water while it's sitting in front of the TV. So I did that to a few pages because I was like, yeah, nice. Just chuck some color down. And like, I just kind of went, okay, what are some of the bits I want to keep? What do I not? And I thought I'd try to do something different. I thought this picture, let's leave the fish and just do a little drawing down here in this little box. Why not? You could do whatever you want. Do whatever you want with these. I might put you down and we are going to have a little look at how I've started, how I prepped this one. So this is the book that I read. I'm trying to gather my books. I'm going to put you down. I'm going to show you what I've done in that so far. So as usual, just excuse my messy desk here. I just thought I'd show you, this is the one I've actually done some of the spreads in. I haven't done every page. There's no rhyme or reason to that. Just doing some mixed media stuff, so acrylic background, and this one was just oil pastels. This one was gouache with some oil pastels on top. Really trying to get loose. Again, this was that, I haven't, this is obviously not done. I've just painted the background with my Neocolor 2s, activated it with water. Same, no, that's actual gouache, that one. Yeah, that's gouache. Ready to roll. This was just some ink, literally ink with a brush straight from a jar of acrylic ink. And let me tell you, because this was kind of a bit of a test to see how well this paper handled it. It only leaked through a little tiny bit here-ish. So I was very impressed because that was just pure, but it was acrylic ink too, so it kind of sits on the surface a little bit more than water-based ink. So I'm just going to keep trying different things in it. And then I used just gouache around here to kind of block out. I thought use the negative space more so than the positive. Yeah, and I've really been playing around with color, mixed media, getting my artwork really ugly. So I kind of was just trying to build up these layers and layers and layers with a bit of collage, and again experimenting with negative space as opposed to drawing an eye, painting around the eye. I actually really love the colors. I love this green and pink together. It's so good. And then just, you know, having a bit of fun playing around. Like I said, I pick random pages. As this page, I was literally just mixing colors, putting them down, seeing what happened. What if I put a bit more yellow? What if I put a bit more blue? What if I put a bit of black? Yada yada blah blah. Just saying, playing around with those colors. And will eventually draw over the top of these spreads. That's the whole idea. And again, this is another one like that cow just before. Gouache underneath. We've got multiple layers of gouache. Then we've got collage and oil pastels and neo colors, just to play around with color, play around with my artworks. And that's literally all I've done in this. So there's only a few spreads that I've done. Before I started in this one, I went through and I ripped out every second page. So I don't know if you can see, there's like a little tiny bit left. So I used a metal ruler, and I'm going to show you that. I'm going to show you this with the new one. So let's grab the new one. So for that first one, I ripped out every second page. For this one, I'm actually not going to rip out every second page. I'm going to be a little bit more strategic about it, because I don't really want these glossy color pages, because nothing's going to sit on that very well, especially water-based media. I use a lot of gouache and things like that, so I'm like, that's the type of pages I'm going to go and pull out. So for the other one, I said I pulled out every second page. So like, that's cool. I want to keep that. For this one, I just want to tear out about half of the pages, because as I add collage and paint, it's going to get thicker anyway, as with most sketchbooks. See, this guy, I almost want to leave that picture there. Maybe. Alright, so I'm going to show you how I rip out my pages. Yeah, okay, you can use a cutting mat, put it underneath and use a blade. I just think that is too hard. I think that's too fiddly. My cutting mat's too big. I'm going to end up cutting myself or cutting multiple pages. So I thought of a different way. So I used a metal ruler, and I'm interested to see how it'll go with these glossy pages. So I just kind of put it here like this. So there's still going to be like a little stub of paper, which is good because it'll mean the other side of that signature won't fall out. But if I'm just tearing out, which for this one will be this page, but see, I like those pictures, but then maybe I keep the pictures. I don't know. I'm just going to show you with this one. I'm not sure about some of these pictures. I don't know. We'll see. Look, maybe it's alright. So I'm going to put my ruler there, and I'm literally balancing it like this, holding it there, and I'm just going to... Oh, these pages are thick. I've had to come out a little bit more because it wanted to take the whole signature. So I'm actually going to come out a little bit more for this one. And just tear. Basically with this book, I'm going to go through, so you can see there's a bit of a stub there. Great. I'm going to go through this one and just kind of pick pages that, like, see, that one doesn't really interest me. But look at them. They're cool pages, aren't they? Cool pictures. But like, I've got another copy of this book. I've got to remember that. I've got another copy. And I want to tear, and look, and at the end of the day, as I'm going through, I can tear more out. Like, it's not a big deal. actually do with those pages that I've torn out is I kind of keep them to the side, and when I've got excess paint, when I'm doing paintings or whatever, I will brush it onto them and they become collage papers. So yeah, I'm happy for that to turn into one. I really like those pages. I like those four. I'm going to leave them. I'm going to actually take out the other side of it. These ones here. So for these ones, because I'm not right at the beginning of the book anymore, and it's not really flat this side, I'm actually going to go in from an angle here. So you just kind of, instead of going straight up, because that just slips straight into the corner, I'm just going to go for from an angle here. Hold it there and just tear. These hooks are kind of cool. See, like that picture, yeah, it's going. You don't get too precious with this, I'm learning. You don't worry about, okay, well that looks like this, because you're gonna probably paint over a lot of it anyway. Let's go to another. So this is another colored bit. That's actually really cool, but I think maybe I might use it as more collage. So I'm gonna rip out some of the pages here. So I literally would just keep going through and ripping out heaps of pages. So you want to go about 50%. You probably go a little less. So I'm just looking. It's got 509 pages. So literally you're going to end up tearing out 200. At least 200 pages out of this book. So you can't get too precious with the pages. Mind you, that's double-sided. So that's 100 sheets. 100 sheets, which is 200 double-sided. Oh, that one went really wonky. That doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, because you're just trying to get rid of some of that thickness. You can kind of see, if I put it here, the book here, so you can kind of see where I've pulled pages from, and that just gives you a bit more room over this side. Although if you like your sketchbooks flaring out like this, you do it that way. You do you. So I'm actually gonna, before I finish doing all that, I'm actually gonna, for you guys, I'm gonna show you how, I just want to reiterate, this is just, there is no right or wrong way to do any of this. Now I'm sorry, I'm going to work on this page. I know there's a bit of a shine on the page there. I need the light on, otherwise it'll be way too dark. I'm just going to have a play around with some of these pictures and stuff. I've got some, I really like acrylic gouache in sketchbooks. I think they it helps pages not stick and stuff like that. And I've got this dodgy paintbrush that is hard as, and I really kind of like the colours. I did some purple, that's why that's there. So I'm going to grab some acrylic gouache and I'm going to do some editing on this page. Alright, I just thought I'd change things up a little bit for this conclusion. It's actually really cold here this week. It's only 5 degrees. And I'm out here with just a hoodie jacket. I'm alright for now. But we'll make this outro nice and quick for you. So let's have a little look at the artworks I made. First one is this fishing book. Oh, I just can't stand dust jackets. They annoy me so much. If you've got an idea for what I could do with the dust jacket, or maybe I just need to toss it. I don't know. I really just don't know. Or do I glue it down so it stops coming off? Like this one's all curly now. So annoying. So annoying. Sorry, I'm filming 2 YouTube videos at the same time, and I was saying in this other one that I've just done a little bit for, my health has taken a bit of a dive. So if I do sound more congested, it's because I kind of am. Alright, so I kind of did this one. Look at that dust jacket, it's annoying me. So here's the fishing book spread I did. I did a little landscape. I want to start getting into small landscapes, and then I thought, what am I going to do with these fish? And I thought, what if I just draw some more fish with him? And that's the original picture there. I actually really like how that page turned out. I quite like that a lot. I think that's all I did in this, wasn't it? I only did the one spread. But I kind of wanted to show you my ideas for using some of these fish pictures that are already in the book, because I like the idea of incorporating some of those pictures in as well. Sorry, I'm just looking because my dog's over there eating chook food. The chicken's gonna peck him in a minute and he'll bark. No, not yet. This here was the notebook, the one that with the checklists that I'm turning into a altered sketchbook. I actually don't like this spread at all. I got given this iridescent white ink, acrylic ink by Atelier. I hate it. I really just don't like it, and I thought I'll try it again, but it then doesn't take dry media over the top. I'm not a really big fan of the Atelier acrylic inks anyway, but this particular iridescent, and I'm not a big fan of iridescent and metallics. I don't know why. I just find them really hard to use and make them cohesive. So I tried to use my ink tents over the top and stuff to add some more detail back into the cows, but it didn't work. But you know what? It's in my sketchbook, it doesn't matter. So I'm gonna call it done because I wasn't enjoying it. However, I love this fluoro pink, and I think this was actually Prussian blue in my Holbein acrylic ink, acrylic gouache in Prussian blue. But I love that indigo Prussian blue with that hot pink. Oh, I love it. It's like one of my favorite color combinations at the moment. I love it. Because I was feeling like I only did 2 spreads, I thought I'd do some quick ink drawings, and I've been trying to incorporate more inks into my art practice. I'm actually not going to touch these anymore. I probably could go over and add some pastels or something like that on top, but I really wanted these timed super fast drawing of fish, and I kind of used a reference from one of the pages I pulled out of the book, out of the fishing book, where the guy's actually holding the fish up. It's on a hook. So I kind of did the portrait, which was a little bit different for me. I don't normally do fish up and down like that. I usually do it with the head, and so I'll often do just the head poking out the side. The intention was to fit the whole fish, but I went way too big. I do that all the time. I'm terrible at that. So thanks for joining me. I've had a ball. I am really loving working in these altered sketchbooks, and I really would love it if you guys do too. Let me know in the comments if you do. Any tips you've got for me for different things that you're going to try maybe, and I might try them too. I might do an update one a little bit later on down the track. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Sign up to my newsletter, you won't regret it. My upcoming shop update is coming up in June, July, August, in early August, and I'm opening it up to my newsletter people for a couple of days first, and then to the general public after that. I don't know what's happening with my hands. Sorry about that. Alright, so thanks for joining me. Bye. I love this lighting, by the way.